How is everybody doing today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about the brand new event that just dropped in Pokemon Pocket TCG, which in all honesty, I'm really excited to talk about just because it is a new way for some people to go ahead and grab some cards they currently don't have, or just for the most part, don't want to go into the other packs to go grab, which is going to be the Fire Pokemon Mass Outbreak event, which this event isn't going to be in the same fashion as the Lapras event that we had previously, which if I'm not wrong is fully gone. This one is literally going to be just only in the Wonder Pick for the most part, and we're going to be able to get a good amount of different Pokemon coming from this, some of them being of course the Arcanine EX, which I think is one of the more sought after cards that we are going to be looking at in regards to this event. This is going to be something that you can use with, if I'm not wrong, Blaine, which can be pretty big in terms of damage. The only backdraw is that it is going to be a 3 energy with a self-damaging move, but it is a pretty hard hitting move just for it to be a stage 2, so that is a pretty big jump in power versus a lot of the other decks that are waiting on stage 3s and stuff like that. We also are going to see some of the regular Charizards in here. We also have, of course, Charmanders to be able to start off your Charizard deck if you haven't already built them or been able to build that deck. And we also have a Flare for this event as well. So overall, not really the craziest thing in the world when it comes to this Wonder Pick. It is just going to be centrally only on the Wonder Pick, with all the Pokemon that are going to be in here. For the most part, you are going to be getting some type of a free deck in this game from this event specifically, just because it is going to be dropping not only the Arcanine, but also the Vulpix and the Ninetales and the Ponyta and the Rapidash and the Magmar. So you're going to be seeing a bunch of different Pokemon in here. They're going to help you build the Blaine deck, which is going to be very easy to build out with this Wonder Pick. So you definitely want to go ahead and try to pick out those that synergize with Blaine. That way you're able to make a Blaine deck and have an extra deck for the future events that will come out. Because remember, when these PvP events come out in the future, or not PvP, PvE events, and you need to fight a grass type deck, like let's say here in the X-Ray Solar battle, you can just go ahead and bring in your fire deck and then you'll be okay to go. You'll be easier to be able to clear those events, do it on auto, so you don't have to pay too much attention to it, which is going to be a pretty big bonus for a lot of people that aren't invested into the fire deck in having a full Charizard deck, or just having the standard Blaine deck that a lot of people are using, which can be strong in certain scenarios. It does get countered quite a bit by other decks like the Starmie deck and of course the Pikachu deck, which we see a lot happen in PvP. So use that deck in your own discretion. But like I said, this event is going to be solely around the fire Pokemon, and of course some of the more event highlighted cards like Arcanine and all of those guys. So it is going to be pretty cool to see. This also is going to be a way for people to be able to grab some cards that they didn't have beforehand, in regards to maybe the Moltres without the EX, the Arcanine, or the Charizard without the EX. If you haven't had the chance to grab any of these guys, you will get the chance to do so, which is going to be really nice. The number of cards that we're going to be seeing in the bonus picks or the rare picks are going to be the Arcanine EX again, like I said before, Charizard, Moltres, Ninetales, which of course is going to play into the Vulpix that's inside as well, Rapidash, Charmeleon, and Blaine. So you're going to get the full suite of Charizard cards besides Charizard EX. That still has to be taken into from his own pack, which of course makes a lot of sense. But this is a really good start in grabbing a lot of the good fire Pokemon and being able to make a deck eventually for you to be able to grind in PvE, which is going to be really nice for the most of it. So for the most part, in all honesty, when it comes to some of the picks you're going to be grabbing, you of course want to try your best to secure 2 Arcanine EXs, some of those Charmeleons, some of the Rapidashes, the Ninetales, and the Blaine itself, because the Blaine is the centerpiece of that card, or the centerpiece of the whole entire deck. Other than that, we also are going to see Charmeleon, Ninetales, Rapidash, Blaine, Charmander, Vulpix, Growlithe, Ponyta, Magmar, and Heatmor in the regular picks, or the regular small bonus picks that we get to see, and not the rare ones. And this is the flare that you get for Arcanine. Some other stuff that we currently have in the game right now, which is centered towards some others that aren't, of course, the ones that aren't free to play, that are paying for POKEGOLD. We are going to see that we have a Black Friday set or Black Friday shop, which I think is kind of crazy. So for any of y'all that are really excited for future POKEGOLD purchases for the new packs that are coming up, because yes, we will be seeing brand new bug packs come out very, very soon, near around the end of the year, which is very exciting to see, which I'm currently holding all my hourglasses for, which I think a lot of y'all should do the same. Hoard your hourglasses, hoard your POKEGOLD, and if you are going to be buying POKEGOLD, it might be pretty good to suggest that you should go ahead and buy these out from the Black Friday sale, because these are going to be at a reduced price than normal. Let's see really quickly to see if there's any value from this. 250 plus 110, so that's around 360. POKEGOLD for $50, and 360 would give you, actually, you might be getting slightly better value. You're gonna be getting a tiny bit of extra value, because if it's $50 to get 250 plus the 110, so that's the 360, half of this would be 250 right here for the 100. So you are getting a couple more pulls from having this Black Friday deal. Now, you only can buy it once, for all I know. Yes, you can only buy this once, and it is going to be at a slight reduced price, so you are getting a little bit more bang for your buck when it comes to buying up these Black Friday deals for the POKEGOLD. So if you are going to stock up for the next set that's going to be coming out for Pokemon Pocket TCG, it'd be well advised for you to go ahead and do so within the Black Friday sale, which is going to help you out, of course, secure that you get majority of the cards that come in this next pack, which is going to be a smaller pack. I'm assuming it might be either 2 packs instead of 3, I'm assuming, for the most part, or it might be just 1. So it is going to be very interesting to see what they're going to be dropping and exactly what teams or what elements they're going to be allowing for more support. Because remember, looking at some of the cards in the game at the current moment, there are some that struggle at the current moment just because of how strong characters like Pikachu EX and also Charizard and also Mewtwo and all these other characters that a lot of other people use, like Starmie and all of them. There are some elements that are currently not doing the best just because they don't have the team for it, or they don't have the support for it for the most part. One of them for sure is Venusaur. Right now, Venusaur isn't the craziest grass type Pokemon at the current moment. He does have the ability to heal at the current moment when it comes to his 4 energy move, which gives him 30 health back, and it only hits for 100. So not really the greatest thing in the world, because a lot of the stage 3s in the game, some of the stage 2s have well over this amount of health to make them be able to last more than once from this move. So it's not a one-shot KO like Charizard, like some Mewtwo's, and all these other cards. Another card that's almost in similar value but is way easier to bring out is someone like Starmie, who does 90 damage per move, and it only costs 2 energy. So that's a pretty big boost and a pretty big bump of value versus someone like Venusaur, who is a stage 3 and requires 4 energy. And if you're not already building up your major game plan with having like a Butterfree, which is also a stage 3, Venusaur, which is another stage 3, having Ericas, having potions, and you haven't used any of them, you're going to be in a really bad spot, especially going against Fire, which is one of the more prevalent decks, again, as I said, alongside with, of course, the Water deck and also Pikachu EX. So it is going to be really hard to start your game plan when it's as slow as having multiple stage 3s and just having a lot of cards in your hand that are a little bit difficult to all synergize together. Water is doing fine, Fire is doing fine, Electric is doing more than fine, Psychic is doing okay as well. Gengar and Mewtwo are both doing really well inside the respective PvP meta. Fighting, it's its own off-center deck, is doing really well at the moment, countering a lot of decks. Of course, it is a little bit more RNG dependent. There are some variants that have a little bit less RNG, but it's still doing pretty good. Other than that, Dark is still doing pretty nice as well, I would say. Metal definitely needs something, just because I don't see a lot of metal decks. A lot of these guys get hard countered by Fire, and for the most part, you don't get enough benefit to run these characters versus a lot of the others. So this is going to be very interesting to see if we're going to get anything more in terms of the metal Pokemon. Dragonite, the only dragon type in this game, a little bit inconsistent, has a really hard time dealing with the energy being RNG, because you don't really have a way to funnel energy into Dragonite, which makes a lot of sense because of how much damage it actually does, because of the 4 hits that you get that are all 50, so you can potentially hit for 200. This is a pretty great move, but like, again, Dragonite doesn't have the means to be able to funnel energy into him, because a lot of the cards that do give him energy aren't allowed to select Dragonite because he is a dragon type and not a water type and anything like that. So yeah, if we could get Dragonite energy funneler, that would be scary, but technically that would be the best thing for them. Normal types right now are having some far and few between really good cards. Fossils are doing pretty nice. We are most likely going to get more supporters in the future that are going to play a little bit more into certain decks, which would be really nice. And other than that, that pretty much should be it in regards to it. So I really do think Metal and also Dragon might get some support because they don't have a lot. Everything else is pretty good, but definitely Grass needs something, because I do think Grass is one of the weaker decks at the current moment, just because of how much setting up it takes to bring them online. So I do expect there to be a little bit more Grass support in the future when it comes to the next set coming out at the end of the year but I could be wrong. They could bring in a whole new meta. They could bring in a bunch of new stuff. And not only that, we are getting just a mini set at the end of the year. We are getting a full brand new full expansion, I think next year early. So it is going to be very interesting to see what cards we're going to get, and I will be covering them. So make sure you like, comment, sub, all that different type of stuff. If you are excited to talk about all those cards when they come out, I'll let you know which ones are good, which packs to summon on first, and all that different type of stuff. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end video. Make sure to pull those Arcanines, make sure to pull those Charizards and Moltres from the Wonder Pick, and good luck, because you, of course, it is super hard to do with it when RNG is in your way. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.